everybody. Thanks for watching once again. It is Wednesday, April 13th, I think. So, good to be back. I was gone for a while, but now I'm back. And today I wanted to talk about what it takes to be a good patient. Being a good patient is important in even your doctor's ability to be able to help you, be the most help to you. And, we talk a lot about doctors, how to find a good doctor, doctors' attitudes towards us when we're sick, and trying to get a diagnosis and how we're treated. But there's also the other side of it, and that is being a good patient. Now, what does that mean? Being a good patient means showing up for your appointments, obviously, that's number one. And of course, showing up on time as much as possible. And then, having a record to show your doctor when you get there. You got to make the most of that opportunity to let the doctor know what's going on with you. So when you go back home, maybe, you have a better plan of action for dealing with the symptoms, the things that you're going through. So, having a good record of what you're going through, being open, being able to communicate well, answering questions, not being cagey, and being honest. You have to let the doctor know what's going on. It's very personal, and we like to, everybody wants to put the best face forward, and this is a situation where you're kind of vulnerable, and, there's a lot of pride and ego in that. So, it's really important, though, to kind of just get really, really humble. Being sick is already really humbling, but important to, be honest with the doctor about everything. Those are four main things. As far as keeping a record is really important because, when you get to the office, you're going to forget everything that happened in the week, 2 weeks, or a month, however long it's been, depending on the severity of your condition right now. But you're not going to remember everything. When you're going through it, it's terrible, right? You're like, oh, I have to tell the doctor. Oh, I have an appointment next week. Okay, I got to tell the doctor. And then you get there and you forget. A lot of times you go through something really severe, like a flare-up, and then it passes and you forget about it, and you get to the doctor's office and you don't, it doesn't even you don't remember. When the doctor asks you, well, how have things been, you don't even think to mention it. I know, because then later on you get home and it's like, oh, I forgot to mention that. So just keeping records is really important. I know sometimes you can't physically do it, but maybe someone else could write it for you, or you can keep like an audio journal in your phone, or with, a recording device of some sort. That's one way you can do it, but definitely a daily journal, a daily record of how you're feeling. Even if it's nothing, you can just write, this was a good day, I've had a good day. And then what was your activities? What are your activities each day? That could be helpful to know also. I just laid in bed all day, or I walked from the parking spot to the Target and was able to get in the little cart they have and, go around the Target and shop, whatever it is. And then, taking medications, I'm not the best at that. I've gotten a lot better. But, a lot of times it takes like at least 30 days to tell what symptoms like how you might react to a medication, if it's effective for you, and, if you want to compare one to the other. So it's important to take your medications consistently. And that can, especially when you don't, not just that you don't like taking pills, but you might have mental fog and you don't remember. It's important to do that. I have an alarm. I have an alarm on my phone. At 6 o'clock, I'm supposed to take my meds. And the alarm, of course, goes off every day at 6. And I have gotten to a point where I turn off the alarm and I still forget to take the medication. So I end up taking the meds really late a lot of times. That's something I keep having to work on. Sometimes I'm really good about it, and then there's sometimes when I lapse. So my new plan is to not shut off the alarm until I actually take the medicine. Because I'm supposed to take it consistently, 6 o'clock every day. And, always make sure that you're taking the right dosage. I had a medication, Adcirca, for the pulmonary hypertension. I'm supposed to take two every day, and for the longest time I was taking one. That's not good. So now I take two. I'm supposed to take two. Yeah, so being honest, if you're not honest, of course, the doctor can't help you. And there might be things you're self-conscious about. That always happens, even under normal circumstances with healthy people. There are things that you don't feel comfortable bringing up. But that's what the doctor is there for. And, when we don't mention things, they can't help us. So today, I went to a specialist to get, for a consultation. And, I had to fill out that form that they give you at the beginning of what my medical history is. I'd never seen them before. And I wrote down, some things. I think I wrote down allergic to tetracycline, allergic to, all these, what came to mind. And then when I go in and talk to him, during the course of the conversation, I mentioned, I was in the hospital and this stuff happened in the hospital. And he's like, what were you in the hospital for? And a light went off. It's like, oh, right, I didn't write down that I had cancer. I neglected to mention that I had cancer. And he's like looking at me like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, like being sarcastic, like, it's nothing. And then the conversation went further along, and I had to mention that I had neuropathy. That's the other thing, like in my feet. That's the other thing I didn't think about. And it occurred to me, like, you get so accustomed to things that you can even overlook them. But it's important to, apparently, it's really important not to forget to, not to take, it's not really taking it for granted, but it's like, this is just my life now. It's just the way it is. And sometimes when I have to think about things, I can forget because it's almost like you get used to it. Like my feet just tingle all the time. That's just the way it is. But you have to remember that it's not supposed to be like that, and that is a thing to write down so they know. So transparency, honesty. So I mentioned before, we have a tendency to not tell our doctors the truth when we go to see them. And there was a report about that, I think, by the Lupus Foundation. And it's important to just be vulnerable because that's the situation, and just say, and especially having that record with you, that helps with that a lot, like even if you don't want to talk about how crappy you feel, you at least can say, well, here's what happened the past week, the past month. And that's something that the doctor can look at, and you don't have to like say and relive all that stuff that you don't want to really think about when you leave the house. And I think that covers it. I forgot, I think there were 4 things, right? That was 3. Anyway, the point is just to be very, communicate. That was the 4th thing. Communicate well. And that it's all in the same vein, communicate properly. Don't be shy or self-conscious because this is a professional, and they have, the burden of confidentiality on their side. So they can't go and tell people what you're, talking to them about. There are HIPAA laws. They can't share your information without your consent, and even if they do, it's only for the purpose of taking care of you. So, just be honest and let them know what's going on so that they can help you. And you also need to have a very good record for when you apply for disability. Your medical records need to show your full history, and even after you have disability, you know, if you have a review or something. Like it becomes very important down the line to have that record. So you want it to be accurate and complete from your, you know, standpoint as far as representing your experience. Yeah, that's what I've learned. So anyway, yeah, so thanks for watching again. I'm trying to be more consistent, but you know, stick with me. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there every Tuesday. That's supposed to be, I'm saying it to you because I'm trying to hold myself accountable. So Tuesday, I'm gonna post a video on some other topic. Oh, the topic that I keep saying that I have not done over yet. So I'm gonna see if I can do that for this Tuesday and stop talking about it and actually do it. All right, so take care, be well, and stay strong. See you later.